Hello, I'm Otto, and welcome to episode 48 of my Factorio Space Age Guide. So in the last episode, we made the complicated version of how trains are going to end up working. In this episode, we have a couple things to go over, but we want to... This is the episode where we're going to check and make sure that things are working. Well, hopefully. So I ended up fixing this blueprint, but I didn't change it in our world. I didn't actually fix this, but I never added an inserter here that is going to be bringing in our uranium-235. We are kind of running out of power. You know what? We're just going to go over there. I'm going to manually grab some of the uranium-235, just make sure that we're not going to run out of power. Where's my car? Oh, are we on... Okay, we're on coal power. So we're just going to add that real quick, make sure that we're not going to run out of power anytime soon. So, yeah, we're going to be adding in the blueprints that we created in the last episode. One. Nice. I'm going to have to take from some of these guys over here. What do we have? Four of them going. That one's active. All right, 15 is going to be tons. Did I set this limit? I did. Okay, let's get back to where we were. The train hub, because we are going to be, like I said, setting up some of that stuff. And there's, I've said this, you know, over the past couple of episodes, but there's a lot of stuff, like a lot of, let's say, maintenance that we're going to have to do. And we're going to maybe try to poke at some of that this episode. As you can see, our steel is kind of down. We're going to have an issue with this, so I'm actually going to reroute way out of the way. Did I name these? I might have. Provider. Alright, train hub parameter. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing that we did in the test world. We're just going to put these down. What are we requesting? This is going to be stone. This is going to be iron. Iron. Let's do this in remote view. Make it a little bit easier. This is iron, so that's iron for probably the steel. Copper, copper, and copper. And then 4 irons. This one is stone. And this one is coal. Okay, so now those are set up. The areas that we were going to have... Okay, I noticed this also. Not that these were empty, but... I saw this and I was like, oh, this poor little guy. So the stacker did not place properly here. It needed a rail support. Elevator rail support. Okay, so let's get rid of some of these. Real quick, deconstruction planner. Just gonna check all of our mining. Oh, sweet. All of our mining sections to make sure that we can get rid of these because they are trying to take all of our efficiency modules. Nothing over here. We can remove all this though. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly go over like I keep saying that we have a lot to do, but I haven't said what any of it is. So what is it that we are, like, what all do we actually need to do? I've said a couple of things like walling off the base. So we're going to have a wall up here. We're going to have a wall down here, a wall over here. And then I don't know how far out we're going to have something here. Either we're going to not wall off here and wall off here instead, or and then make outposts that will have their own walls, or we are going to reach out and maybe carve out a section where we can wall off. Either way, it won't matter too much. I initially had no plans on using the flamethrowers, so I didn't actually build them inside of my mall blueprint. They need engines, and I did not leave space for them. So I could maybe really kind of like in a not so auto way, just kind of like figure out a way to get flamethrowers in here. So that might be, well, that is probably going to be one thing that we're going to do. We're going to need some more of these, the laser turrets, because that we are going to include that in our walls. We need to upgrade stuff, like all of the red belts we're going to upgrade to blue belts. All of the smelters we're going to upgrade to, from steel smelters to electric smelters. All of this needs to be upgraded. Like, we have a lot to do. I want to get, I want to turn the tank ammo into uranium tank ammo, which we do not have going just yet. We need military 4 and that. So yeah, we can get some research going. Just keep a couple of things here and there. We need to discover Volcanus. Great discovery. We're just going to science our way through it. Yeah, so there's a couple of things here and there. We can just add basically anything that was up here already. Train, brake force, sure. And there's more. So we can let that go. Yeah, and we need to get trains going. So trains are... Did I set the... I did set the trains, the train group. We can really just put this down anywhere. We're just going to have it somewhere out of the way. So let's just put it here, because I want to have room for potential train groups here and potential train groups here, like a solid and liquid. So this is going to create our train groups, and we can just ignore that from here on out. That will make it so that when we stamp down our train blueprint, our solid train blueprint, that will allow us to just automatically configure the groups, because we set that up in the last episode. Okay, so the game plan, aside from we need to upgrade everything, is we need to increase our resources severely. Like you can see the steel line, they are really diminished. This one is just kind of pancaked together. Why is this still not going? We have blue mixed with red belts. I want to get all of them upgraded. Even in blueprints, I think yeah, back here for the yellow signs, I've got all of these are blue, these are all red. I want to clean up a lot of this because I'm going to end up updating all of the blueprints before we leave Nauvis. I think that another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to, like, once everything is cleaned up, we're good to go, we are 100% ready to leave Nauvis and head on the next adventure. I'm going to start another playlist. So I'm going to have a playlist that is completely dedicated to everything post-Nauvis. And I am going to take that save file and upload it or have a link to it or something in my Discord. I will have like a blueprint book that has all of the Nauvis blueprints, either in a chest. I don't actually know where you might spawn. I don't know if a new character in the world would spawn somewhere near the starting area, which is, I don't know, like somewhere over in here. Or if you would start where my character leaves off. Either way, like I'll have all that figured out and have maybe like a chest with some supplies in it, blueprint book if you don't want to download it. Yeah, so there's just a bunch of stuff that I want to get done. We don't have many episodes left, so I'm probably going to just pick and choose a couple of things here and there. I might show some of it, I might not. The things that I definitely want to show, though, this episode, we are going to be expanding our mining the best that we can. I might show off a couple and then just speed through a bunch of it, or maybe not even show it, just come back after and say, okay, like this is, you've seen this 1,000 times. This is what I ended up doing. I haven't quite decided on that yet. 11 minutes in, we kind of need to decide that soon. But I also want to have, I still have another build that we need to do over here. We're going to need a module build. So I think we're going to have just one city block section that is dedicated to all four. It won't necessarily be expandable, but we will figure that out when we get there. That'll be in the next couple of episodes. I also want to go over the walling off. There's a lot of different ways that people have come up with for walling off sections of your base. I think we're at a point where everyone knows so far that I like to kind of just go big or go home, right? I tried to find who made this blueprint, and I don't remember exactly what it looks like, but I think I can at least conceptually get it down close to what the original creator had, and I think it's just the funniest thing. It's so good. I used it whenever I played the space exploration mod. I had a blast with it. It is way, way overkill, and you guys know I like to do things like to overkill. Okay, so let's start stamping some blueprints down. So we need some mining outposts. So I'm going to grab the mining outpost. We are going to put these down. Now, thankfully, also with my blueprints, I have this provider parameter. So we can actually just line these up, and I don't have to have these be the same material. So I can, for instance, set this one up for mining, mining iron ore. So what is being provided? Iron ore, because this is going to be fed by this one here. And then I can have this one be copper ore, which can be fed by this one here. I could then have this one be iron ore, fed by this one. Or, you know what? No. This one's copper. This one is iron. Because this copper patch over here has two lines coming through here, so we can have that feed in this section for copper, and then whatever's left from this guy can feed in here for iron. So you kind of get the idea. Like, we've got a couple of options here. I could probably just remove this one. We don't really need it. I should have maybe turned it and faced it in a different direction for these. We will also need to cap this at some point, or allow trains to loop around if, something happens or whatever. We can, let's just do it like this. I'm going to do a T-rail. Is this where I want to do it? Probably not. I probably should have done it here. I kind of feel like that's going to line up better. So I'm going to remove a little bit of this. Yeah, we're going with it. Straight rail like that, and then I could do like a stacker here. Oof, that is not going to work. I believe I'm not gonna be able to do both. Okay, that's fine. We can manually do something here. I don't mind occasionally doing something. So we would just have something like, I don't know, a roundabout come in through here. And then that will allow us to set a stacker up there and a mining outpost here for this iron over here. So then these would be iron ore and iron ore. This one we're just going to dismantle this one. It's not a huge deal. Because we can just flip it to have... The downside is I can't pair some of these together. So I could actually just do like a straight rail over this way and then have some mining sections over here. We need to spread some city block as well. Just to make sure that, you know, everything can get crafted or be created. The bots will kind of do their thing. I'm not worried about the fill-in section, like the sections in between. I don't mind having like an awkward trail like this. We could just paint the world in city blocks, but we are not going to do that. Also, we need a shunting station. Where did shunting go? Man, I really need to organize these. So I was actually looking at this and thinking about it. And I was like, okay, well, where, like, I think ideally I might have like put it here, but I don't want to get in the way of this stone mining. So I think we're going to end up adding it here. This is going to be a decent spot. It's a central point between the train hub and a lot of the different mining that we're going to mostly have over here. We're going to have some over here as well. But mostly over here. And yeah. We're going to end up adding some stackers. Okay, we don't want to get too carried away. Like, the bots already have a lot on their hands. So I believe it's not so much the amount of bots, it's the amount of materials. Okay, so a couple more things that I want to do. Probably in this episode. I want to start the process. Now, normally I probably would have upgraded these smelter stacks like a long time ago. It just turns out that we have not done that. So I'm going to cut this one off. We're going to let this drain out, and then we are going to come back and dismantle this and create a new smelting stack. And we're not going to do them all at once. We're going to start here, and we'll do one with the iron and one with the copper. The steel will have to be completely different, and I have an idea on how we're going to handle that. And we are going to need a lot more electric furnaces. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? We're eventually going to expand this. So I could just go ahead and expand it. And then have a collection box. Let's say here. Because, like, all of these steel chests, or these steel furnaces, these are all wasted, basically. Like, these are useless. We're never going to use these again. The electric furnaces, on the other hand, they are not going to be wasted at all because they can be used in purple science. So even if we dismantle them later, like maybe soonish, we can always bring them back and add them to this line, and they will not go to waste. Like, you know, they will get used. So let's limit this. This is probably going to be a bit of a problem. What else do we need? We need extend this guy here. These are all in the middle. And they are all going to be covered by this power pole here. We are having red circuit issues. I think the red circuit issues is probably from initially having green circuit issues because we did have some copper problems coming in here. Yeah, we really need to beef all this up. Okay, so this is mostly drained out. We can kind of help it along. Oh, there's still a bunch to drain out. Anyways. So let's also start to upgrade some things. So I want to get the green circuit section upgraded first. So I'm actually just going to blanket upgrade. No, I'm not. We're going to upgrade using this. So I want to change the assembling 2 to assembling machine 3. Red is going to go to blue. I believe the inserters we can leave, so we can keep that as is for now. And this is going to be quite the time-consuming process for the bots and for the base. This is going to drain a lot of resources, and that's okay because we are going to be adding resources shortly, right? We will increase capacity for mining here, or for smelting. A lot of this stuff is going to be probably painful early on, but good for the long term. Okay, so we just learned uranium, yeah. So, unfortunately, I didn't set this up in a way. I really didn't plan on making, like, turning these into uranium shells. It was honestly not something that I ever thought about doing, but I was like, you know what? Like, we're here to have fun, right? Like, let's just play around with things. Let's just see how it works. Because this ammo, this is the damage that the ammo does. And this is the damage that the ammo could do if it had uranium. Plus, you know what? We need something to do with the extra 238s we have. We're collecting a lot of these, and you know what? We can just take a couple thousand, and that'll be fine. So I'm gonna grab. I need to upgrade this on my bars so we stop using the old one. Now this is gonna be really funky, and again, that's fine. We're perfectly fine with funky, especially when we're doing something that we didn't exactly plan for. So we're going to put in a requester chest, the first requester chest that we've actually put down this run. Crazy, I know. We're going to need power. So this requester chest is going to be bringing in our uranium-238. We just want to get some, like 100 is fine. This is not going to craft very fast. This is going to make our uranium shells. And then we can output that and just let it kind of go for... no, I need... There, put it with some power. And I'm just going to limit the amount here. Because we're not going to be putting any back, similar to this. We could have just limited this here, but we're not too concerned. We're never going to be putting ammo back. Okay, so... Oh, look at that! The bot's already upgraded most of this. Except for the belts. Because the belts are all just kind of chugging along. This one's gobbling up our gears, so we can upgrade the gears too. Oh, the bots are so awesome. Like, just the waves of bots coming through, and it's great. They're taking our power, though. My personal bots. And just like that, gear just beefed up. Yeah, upgrading the bus is definitely going to be one of the first priorities for what we're doing in the near future. And I don't think that there's a way for me to add in any more gears. Let's make sure this got set up properly. It looks like it did. That's chugging along. All right, let's go check our smelting. Yeah, this is nice and empty. So I'm going to turn off my RoboPort. I don't want to collect any of this, but we are going to dismantle this. Mostly. I'm gonna leave these. This might, oh, I did not think about this. This might actually end up completely destroying placements for these, but you know what? That's okay. We can maneuver through this. Okay, so we are going to be using blue belts. So we are also now going to have a larger stack to accommodate the extra materials coming in. Oh, this is going to be so janky. This is probably going to hurt us more. I probably should have started on this side, actually. It's going to be very difficult to try to route in copper through here and allow these to keep smelting, because these are going to be gobbling up the coal. I said copper, didn't I? I did. I'm so bad about saying stuff like that, like copper versus... I don't know how we're going to figure this out yet, but let's hurry up and get the electric furnace down. So let's figure out what we need to do to have this set up. So I kind of still want to maybe aim for them to come out this way. Something like that. Which means that this needs to be here, and this cannot be in the way. Like I said, we will have to route this. I'll probably just route it across the front as a temporary band-aid. This can still give us what we need here and split it. And then we only need half a belt anyways. No point in storing any more than we have to. And we're just going to use the blue belts. Sorry, the blue inserters. So I'm just going to set this up for 6, and then we can copy and paste down the line. Actually, I want to see how it's going to line up here, because that is almost certainly not going to work. Yeah, we're going to be way off. Oh, and having the coal in the way is not going to help us with lining up. I almost could have salvaged this a little. Okay, we're going to have to be okay with this. It should... I would rather have all of this shifted right to the right one, but... You know what? I really like it when things look nice, so let's do it. Okay, so we shifted all of that to the right. Now we need to cut all of this, or let's say most of it, and shift that right one. And then we will figure out what's going on with these. I know this might seem like me being crazy, but so all of these are gonna have to be shifted. Let's just cut these and shift them one space over. I guess I can just paste that one in here too. Okay, so now we need to figure power, and that is going to cover all 6. Awesome. Okay, so we need 72 of these total, and this is 12. So we are going to... we can do the whole thing. Just add them down the line. I knew this was going to get in the way. No! I think we actually need to take this one back. Let me copy, see what all we have here. 60, yeah, so we need another stack. So this is a problem that I'm not too concerned with just yet. Maybe off camera, I'm going to take all of this, and I'm going to deconstruct, I'm going to deconstruct all of this and kind of maybe aim it all up. So then, right now, we can just get rid of what we need. Nope, that's going to mess us up. Let's just get rid of all of it now. Okay, and that will be our smelting build. Wow, it's twice the size. Jeez. But now we're consuming only electricity from this one and no more coal. But as a temporary fix, I need to route coal in at some point. Oh, you gotta love it. Just that stretch all the way across. Good job. Lights we can deal with later too, because you know me, I tend to not add lights until we no longer need them. Man, I feel like we got a lot accomplished this episode. Okay, so let's move the coal over. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, so that does not completely destroy our production, and we will have to slowly take bites out of that. Like I said, this is probably the only time that I'll show this. I'll go through and add lights if whenever I make the blueprint. A lot of this will get filled out by the bots. And like I said, I'm gonna come back in after and adjust that so that this will go past the smelting stack that we have. Okay, so we have almost researched Volcanus. We are so close to getting off this planet. All right, that is going to be it for this episode. Like I said, we kind of got a lot done and not a lot at the same time. We still have to connect some of these, figure out how that's going to work. That's okay. We can come do that in the next episode. Like I said, we're doing kind of a lot of tasking type stuff over the next couple of episodes. But in the next episode, I would like to put a module build down so that we can get module rank 2 going, which will really help us in a lot of other areas. Okay, so if you've been enjoying my content, well, you know what to do. Be sure to join the Discord if you want to, grab some of these blueprints, the blueprints for the solid parameter that we, for the train hub parameter and the provider parameter that we're using at the train outposts. Yeah, join the Discord and I give those out freely. So in the next episode, yeah, we're going to make the module build. Okay, that is it for me for this one. I will see you in the next one, and thanks for watching.